Okay, so real life percentage increases and decreases. So here Alberto's car is being decreased by 15%. So the easiest way to think about this, I believe, is to use a multiplier. Decreasing by 15% gives you 85%. So I'm looking for 85% of the 18,000. So if I take my 18,000 and multiply it by 0.85, that will decrease it by 15%. It will tell me the value of the car after 1 year. So I need to multiply by 0.85 again to get it after the second year, and a third time after the third year. So I can multiply by 0.85 cubed. It's important in money questions that you don't round more than 2 decimal places. In this case, our answer comes to 2 decimal places, so you need to give all of it. It's $11,054.25. You need every single one of those digits for those 2 marks. Okay, now Belinda bought a car a while ago, and we're actually going to work backwards here. The value of her car decreased, and we need to undo that decrease. You may have been shown a few different ways of how to do this. The way I think of it is that the original price of her car, or what she paid for it, I'm going to call X. And then somebody has decreased it by 15%. So that means they've taken X and they've multiplied it by 0.85. So 0.85x, once they decreased it by 15%, they got $1,425. So now we just need to solve this equation to work out what x is. So simple bit of rearranging. We divide both sides by 0.85. And so to find the answer, we just plug that into a calculator, which should give you exactly $16,500. Moving on to the next part of this question then, part B, we're looking at compound interest. So this is increasing rather than decreasing. So Chris invested his money at 5% per year. So I'm going to call, what we're after is the amount he has invested. That's what makes this question a little bit more unusual, is that we're doing backwards compound interest. So let's say he invested X dollars, and it then was increased by 5%, so that's the same as multiplying by 1.05. But actually, it was then increased by that again, so I'm going to do that squared. And so once they'd taken X and they'd multiplied it by 1.05 squared, they got $286.65. So a bit of rearranging, just like in the last question. And X gives me $286.65 divided by 1.05 squared. I'll just plug that into my calculator. And it gives you a satisfyingly round and reassuring number, $260 exactly. Now, Dan invested $200, and it tells us the value of investment is 224.72. So I'm going to set up an equation as before. This time, what's unknown is the rate of interest. So it's the same sort of as it is in the last question, but we've got to think about it 2 different ways. Either it was invested at simple interest. Now, simple interest means he just gets the same amount of money every year from his investments. Compound interest, on the other hand, means that the amount of interest he's getting is increasing because the amount of money he's got is increasing each year. So in simple interest, the first thing we're going to do is work out how much he's making per year. Now, over those 2 years, he made a whole $24.72. So that means each year he's earning $12.36. So we've got to work out what $12.36 is as a percentage of $200, because that's what he's earning each time. So to work it out as a percentage of 200, you can always think of it, I tend to think of these as like test scores. $12.36 out of 200 and then that will give us 0.0618. If we multiply that by 100 to make it a percentage, we can see he's earning 6.18%. That was assuming the amount he got each time was the same. For compound interest, it's a little bit more complicated. I'm going to have to set up an equation, just like we did in this question up here. The amount he'd initially invested multiplied by the rate squared. So if we can work out what this is, then we'll be away. So I'm going to label my variable R. So I know the initial amount he invested was $200. So $200, and then we've timed it by R, and then we've times it by R again. And at the end of that, we got $224.72. So a couple of things I've got to do to this. I've got to divide both sides by 200 and then square root what I've got left so that I can make R the subject to the formula. So I'll jump through and do them both in one, just because I'm out of space in your exam. I'd write an extra line in the middle there. So the square root of 224.72 over 200 will tell us what our rate is. So that gives us a rate of interest of 1.06. So hopefully you can tell from that it's increasing by 6% per year. Now that makes sense because you can see the interest rate is lower for compound interest. It's because the amount he's earning is going to continue getting bigger and higher for simple interest.